Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and welcome back to another BookTube Talk with. And now I have to apologize if you were expecting Christopher Russell, you've got Randy Ray again instead. So to be honest, I think that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade, isn't it, Randy? To be honest, come on, a man of experience.
Well,
rugged.
Christopher will be here next week,
That's
but
right.
I will be here also.
Christopher will be with us both next week. That's true. That's true. So
I'm just glad I talked Christopher into returning to BookTube.
Well done. Well done. How did you do it? Yeah,
I just was gently persistent with
so
my boxer bag.
Come back.
Gently persistent.
Good. Well, yeah, there you go. Like in your love life, right?
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but yes.
Gently persistent. Yeah. Oh dear. So we've got a few people here. 5 at the moment. But,
hey, everybody.
Here apparently. Hi there. Who else is here? Nels is here. Hello, Mark and Randy. Hello, Nels.
Hey.
Yeah. Summer's here as well. Salutations, Summer. Good to see you. Greg, Ghost Readers in the Skies here. Howdy to you too, sir.
Hey, Greg.
Got a few people here already. Okay, we've jumped right up to 12. Well, that's pretty nice, isn't it? So we've gone from 5 to 12 pretty quickly.
Yes. So, yeah. Our viewership gets bigger every week.
It really does. And it's very, even though it's not like a huge viewership, it is a very good comment section. I have to say, it's generally pretty active in our comments, which I'm very pleased about. The engagement and the interaction is fantastic. Hola, Helen, ¿qué tal? So, yeah. Oh, dear. So, what's new? It feels like it's been a while. Were we here last week? I don't think we were.
I missed a week.
Yeah.
Last week I had a doctor's appointment.
That's right. So we weren't here. So how's it going, sir? Hi, Ariane. Good to see you.
Going all right. It was good to get out of the house.
Yeah. Do you have far to go when you go to the doctors?
Unfortunately, yes. My oncologist is an hour from here. And that is literally the closest oncologist that accepts my insurance. And that's an hour if you take the toll roads. If you skip the toll roads, it's more like an hour and a half away. Cool. But I only have to go once a month now, which is a lot better. When I was still undergoing chemo, how many times was I was going twice a week when I was getting chemo. And I don't drive anymore. So not only did I have to go to these appointments, I had to find people who were kind enough to give me a ride.
And is that the reason you say you don't drive anymore? Is that because of your illness or because you don't feel comfortable driving now because of your illness?
I have lymphedema in my legs,
right?
Which means they're swollen. And I also have a really, really big foot on my right foot. That foot is swollen. And it's hard for me to switch from the brake to the gas pedal back and forth. And the last time I drove, my leg locked up on me and I couldn't get it to move. I couldn't switch to the brakes. So I wound up just finding a hill and let off the gas. And as I was cruising uphill, I slowed down till finally I got under about 10 miles an hour and shifted it into park. And had my roommates come pick me up.
But you can get special cars, can't you, where you can actually have the controls? Because I know people who were paralyzed waist down. They could drive because they had special controls in the top of the car, like
I suppose that I could, but I just haven't.
Yeah. Well, if you got,
it's probably better for me not to drive anyway. I don't have a valid driver's license.
Well, that would probably
I'm real bad at keeping up with stuff like that. I let it expire over 10 years ago and just never bothered to renew it. So,
all right. So you were actually driving without a license before.
Yeah, I should have been driving anyway.
Yeah. Oh, goodness me. Oh, dear.
But I'm a good driver and I never speed, so I never get pulled over.
But I suppose, I mean, if you drove without a valid license and you get caught, I'm imagining it's just a penalty because you've obviously passed the test and got a license, even if it's not valid, right? I mean,
yeah, there's a ticket. I got ticketed once, and it's been 3 or 4 years ago. I don't really remember what happened, but I didn't have an inspection or registration that was valid either. Yeah. And they let me off the hook on one of them. But the thing is, if you get your driver's license renewed and you get your registration, if you get all the stuff taken care of, they usually throw everything out if you just show up at court with all your documents showing that you fixed the situation.
Yeah.
But you can't just ignore the stuff. If you just ignore the stuff, then they'll put out a warrant for your arrest.
Right. Helen says, very autumnal here in the UK. Bring it on. Summer finds the whole thing quite funny. Doubly so. Lou says, Randy is a true Texas outlaw. So there you have it. And Joseph, hello, Mark and Randy and everyone in the chat. Hello, Joseph. Good to see you.
Hey, Joseph.
I
am an outlaw, I guess.
You are. A Texas outlaw.
I have a friend in jail who wanted me to recommend a long science fiction novel to him. And I recommended Hyperion by Dan Simmons.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but I've heard so many good things about it that I thought I would recommend it to him because he has plenty of time to read now. Yeah. And I could read it too, so we'd have something to talk about when he eventually gets out of jail.
Yeah. That's so funny. Give me a list of long books to read. I'm going to be in jail for a while. Yeah.
Right.
So Dr. Vanessa's here. Hi. Hope you're both doing well. She says, yes, thank you. We are. Hope you are as well. Media Haven Hyperion Cantos. And Ariane says, I'm reading Hyperion now. I'm dipping my toe into science fiction. Well, how is it? Is it warm? Is it cold? How's it going, Ariane? So, yeah, dipping one's toe into science fiction has never really been my cup of tea, I have to say. And Mike's here. Hi, good to see you. And Summer says, the Terror was so much better than Hyperion. Don't know, Summer. I read Terror, as you know. I really loved it. But Hyperion I've never read, so I don't know. Helen, I might have more time to read if I do jail time. Yeah, well, there's positive in everything. So, yeah. So, and have you been able to do much reading in the last week or so, Randy? Or
I have done some reading. I don't brag about this, but I am in the middle of a big reading project. I'm tackling the complete works of Charles Dickens.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so right now I'm in the middle of Oliver Twist, which I'm absolutely loving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I figured it out at the rate at which I read. If I read for an hour or two a day, of Charles Dickens, which I can always find an hour for Charles Dickens, I'll have his complete works read within about a year.
Yeah. It's not
Shakespeare. Shakespeare is even shorter. Shakespeare, you can finish the works of Shakespeare in 3 months, easy.
Yeah. And when you say Dickens, though, are you just reading the novels, or are you reading any of his other stuff?
I'm just reading the novels because that's what I've got right now. But I'll probably get the Christmas stories too.
Yeah.
There were several. What do you write? 6 Christmas stories?
I think I'm not entirely sure, but of course he's got a lot of essays as well and works he's done with other people such as Wilkie Collins and whatnot. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the 14 and a half novels is my focus right now. And I guess the first one is the Pickwick Papers.
Yeah.
But I decided to save that one for later because the Pickwick Papers is really long.
Yeah.
Oliver Twist is one of the shortest novels.
Oliver Twist is pretty short. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say it's 135,000 words.
I'm hoping to read Mystery of Edwin Drood towards the end of this year because I really want to read Dan Simmons's Drood. And I heard you don't really have to read the Mystery of Edwin Drood, but I'd like to. So yeah.
Well, let me know when you want to get started on it. We can buddy read it.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of maybe November and then doing Dan Simmons's Drood in December. That was my thought.
Sounds fun. In November, of course, I host a book club, the Lone Star Book Club, and in November we're reading The Lord of the Rings, all of it.
Wow,
which is a big commitment, but the only thing I have on schedule for December is A Christmas Carol, which doesn't take long to read at all. So my assumption is that most people are gonna, if they tackle The Lord of the Rings in November with me, it'll lop over into December anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Mystery of Edwin Drood isn't very long. I think it's only 200 pages or something. I don't think it's very long at all.
Well, yeah, you didn't finish it
because you didn't finish it, exactly. And of course, I'm hosting Dr. November, so I still think I can get that in. So,
forgot about Dr. November.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough doing that and Lord of the Rings in its entirety, but yeah,
I'm really excited about reading The Lord of the Rings again. It's funny, it was one of my big introductions to reading when I was younger. I read The Lord of the Rings and I absolutely loved it, but I probably read it 6 times by the time I was in 6th grade. And then I think I read it once more while I was in high school. And then I read it once again, maybe 20, 25 years ago. And so it's been a long time since I've read it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the experience is reading it as an adult. Maybe I won't skip the poems this time.
Yeah, I mean, I've never read it. I only read The Fellowship of the Ring because when I was like, I don't know, 14 or something, I had 3 books, like 3 individual books of Lord of the Rings. So I read that, but I didn't read the other 2. I know it's meant to be one book for some reason. I don't know. In the mid-90s, they brought it out in 3 volumes like that. So, no, I haven't read it. We've got a few comments here. Where are we? I didn't think it would be my cup of tea either, but I'm loving it. Reading lots of vintage stuff. So that's science fiction. Mike says, jail time with a good TBR sounds appealing. Sean Mike is here. Hello, guys. I hope everyone's doing great. Ariane is curious about Drood. Summer says, me too, guys. I have Drood plans for October. Helen, A Christmas Carol. I read every December and watch A Muppets Christmas Carol. Happy days.
The Muppet Christmas Carol is one of the good adaptations.
Well, it's crazy to think Christmas is, it's like 3 months away. Almost.
It's not long.
3.5 months. It's crazy. What are we? 20th of August? Yeah, so it's like 3 months and 10 days.
It sure is the 20th. Yeah, this is crazy. August is almost over.
Huh? Yeah.
Time goes by so quickly these days.
Yeah, I'm back to school on Monday. No kids, though, for the first week. So,
I have an ex-girlfriend
who
was is a school teacher, and she is teaching in Alaska this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's she doing there?
I don't know. I don't think she can get a job here anymore. She had some issues. But, Alaska's desperate for teachers.
Yeah. I bet it'd be kind of cool, though. I mean, Alaska would be quite an interesting post, I imagine.
Well, it's she was telling me the weird thing about it is that it's daylight all the time.
Yeah. And it'd be darkness all the time in winter, of course.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, be a bit odd.
Anyway, I bought quite a few of her books from her library before she left, and I got a nice little book haul there.
Oh, okay. Have you made a video for it yet or not?
No, I haven't yet. I should. I've got them over there. They're on my rolling cart. My sister got me a rolling cart for books for my birthday this year, and it's full of the books that I got from the school teacher ex-girlfriend.
Okay. Libra Parody, so no troubled souls for a week. Not sure what that's in reference to. Maybe I'm missing something. So, yeah. So, obviously, you haven't been. Helen's comment here. A new series by Randy. I had an ex-girlfriend who. Yeah, it probably could be kind of interesting.
That should be a channel all by itself.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. You said you haven't made any videos really, so okay.
I made a video about the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Three Musketeers. Yeah, but that
was my most recent one.
2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did I make one since then? I don't know. I have one in the hopper. No, I did a reading update.
Right.
I did a weekly reading update since then, but it was actually 2 weeks because I tried to do a weekly update, but then I missed a week. So I figured it was better late than never. So I covered 2 weeks, but I talked about some of the books I finished. I was reading Galactic Patrol by E. Doc Smith. It's too bad Sean couldn't make it to the call today. I'm sure he has something to say about Galactic Patrol.
Probably.
I read that. I finished that, and I finished The Killer Inside Me by Big Jim Thompson. Yeah. I have to say I enjoyed it a lot more this second time around. The first time I didn't much care for it, but I really liked it the second time around. Yeah. Oh, I did read something. All right, now this is almost going to sound literary. I read The Ballad of the Sad Cafe by Carson McCullers.
Okay. What was that about?
Okay, so it's Southern Gothic, and this is what I've learned about the Southern Gothic genre. It's not enough for a character to be a dwarf, okay? Character's got to be a dwarf with a hunchback.
Right.
It's not enough for the character to be cross-eyed. The character's also got to be cross-eyed and, missing a toe or something.
Right.
All of the characters are just really grotesque in these books. But The Ballad of the Sad Cafe is a book. It consists of a novella, which is the title of the novella as well as the book. And then there were about 6 short stories. But the novella was interesting. It's about a woman, and she owns a cafe, and she kind of keeps to herself. But then a cousin of hers shows up in town, and he's a dwarf.
Right.
And they wind up becoming a couple.
Okay.
And nobody really minds because, nobody really wants to date her.
And he's just a dwarf, or he's got a hunchback or missing a toe?
No, he's a dwarf with a hunchback.
Okay, right.
But then her ex-husband shows up.
Right.
Spoiler alert here too, okay? So her ex-husband shows up. Well, you would expect there to be, conflict, over her affections. But the dwarf, her cousin the dwarf, for whatever reason, just idolizes her ex-husband. Thinks he hung the moon. And he follows him around all the time. And there's this hero worship thing going on. But then the ex-husband and the woman who runs the cafe start training for a fight. They don't discuss it or anything. It's just clear that they're training to fight each other. And eventually that's the climax of the story is they finally have their big fight there in the cafe.
Okay. So did you like it?
Loved it.
Really?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I loved all the short stories in there too. But it's really odd stuff. Carson McCullers also wrote The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, which I have not read, but I have seen the movie and it was wonderful.
Now, is dwarf the accepted term? I'm not sure.
I believe it is. If it's not, I apologize.
Yeah, I'm never sure these days.
I know at one time, I don't know, but I think at one time the accepted term was little people.
Yeah. In Czech, they call them Lilliput, like from Gulliver's Travels. You know.
Well, you know, I ran around with some dwarves when I was younger.
Did you? Sorry.
Yeah.
I just had this funny thought because I mean, maybe a lot of the viewers don't know it, but you're a very tall guy, so it kind of gives me a funny image of you running around with these little dwarves.
They like to party. The ones here in Dallas, Texas, like to party. And this was a long time ago. I mean, I was in my late 20s at the time and stuff, but they were all buddies with Vern Troyer, who was in the Austin Powers movies. He played Mini-Me.
Oh, yeah.
But Danny was the main dwarf that we ran around with, and he was a singer, a beautiful singer. And I used to go to karaoke every week. And so, you know, we're sitting at the back of the bar, and Danny was singing Mr. Jones from the Counting Crows.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. It was just wonderful. And he sounded just like the lead singer for the Counting Crows. And I leaned over to my bartender friend who was there drinking that night. She was off work. And I said, "Isn't he incredible?" And she laughed because she didn't realize there was actually someone up there singing because he was so short you couldn't see him for the crowd. She thought we were just listening to the radio.
Yeah.
But anyway, Danny the Dwarf went on to be on Maury Povich a few days later, singing on Maury Povich.
Wow. And he was Danny the Dwarf.
Well, that's what I called him.
Yeah. I do have to laugh at Helen's comment, though. Randy's the new Snow White. Oh, dear. All right. Libra Producer, my teacher friends often use the term their students after I mentioned it. And Manny says, "Hello, just joined. Didn't know if you were talking about a night out or a book." Well, it depends where you joined in. So kind of one thing led into the other. So, you know. Yeah, I can't say I haven't known that many, like, personally, actually. Not for any, you know, bad reason. I just haven't come across any, I suppose. But that's cool. Yeah, nice.
Danny was heavy.
Oh, no, don't tell me.
You know, I had to help him get onto the bar stool.
Oh, okay.
And you don't expect him to be heavy because, you know, he's about the size of one of my children, but solid.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of mass.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Right. I don't know where to move the conversation after that, where to go through. So tell us about
what have you been reading lately, Mark?
I was going to say, tell us about your nights out with the bearded lady or something. You know, come on, I don't know what.
The bearded lady.
What
I am the bearded lady.
You are the bearded lady, yeah.
Right.
Randifina or whatever. I don't know if last time I was on here I mentioned it. I was reading. I did finish my Patreon August book club pick, which was This Sporting Life by David Story, and it was very interesting to me because it's about a sport I guess a lot of people, especially outside of the UK, don't know, which is rugby league, not rugby. There's two types of rugby, Randy. So one of them's called rugby league. And it was, you know, in a grim northern industrial town. And it was very, very depressing, very miserable. But I really liked it, which surprised me, you know, really kept me reading. And I thought it was a very interesting book. So I read that. And then I've been planning, because I'm doing this Shorty September thing, where I'm going to read one book a day in September. So I've been planning that out because it's quite a challenge, you know, going back to school and then taking up the challenge of trying to read one book every single day. But I am reading currently, what's it called? The House by the Lake, which is the book that won, you know, the BookTube choice, my subscriber choice on my channel. So, yeah. And that's pretty good. It's all about a house by a lake and in Berlin. And it just follows the 5 families that owned it. So it's a nonfiction, but it kind of gives you a good history from Berlin in the late 19th century. I'm now through to Berlin in like 1948, and I think it goes through till the present day, something like 2013, something like that. So, Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting, I must say.
You know, my favorite haunted house novel is a novel called The House Next Door by Anne Rivers Siddons.
Right.
It's the only horror novel she ever wrote. But what was interesting about it is it's not told from the perspective of the people living in the haunted house. It's told from the perspective of the neighbors.
All right. Okay. Uh-huh.
And so you get to see multiple families move in and out of the haunted house.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And the effects that it has. But yeah, it's really great. It was it's fairly old novel now, but I read Stephen King's book Dance Macabre. And you know, he talks about the different archetypes in horror literature, and the haunted house or the bad place was one of them. And that's where I got the recommendation for the House Next Door. But yeah, it's a great one. I recommend that to anybody.
Yeah. No, okay. Cool. Sounds pretty interesting.
It really was.
You should do the voting system, pick books again. It was fun, but you didn't pick mine. Yeah, sorry, it was democracy. Helen had to go with the majority, what people wanted me to read. So, but I'm going to probably read all the others that were there. Just going to.
Was that for your Patreon?
No. I did it on YouTube. I had, pulled up some books on my Kindle, and I just couldn't decide which one to read next. So I thought, well, I'll ask these guys, and they chose.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, and then I'll just down the list. You know, the most popular I've read now, and then I'll probably come back to it in October because obviously doing Shorty September, I don't think I can do it. And then the second most popular I'll do in October, November, December. So yeah, all of them will get.
But you do have a Patreon that people can join.
Yeah, definitely, I do. Yeah.
Now, what's the suggested donation for your Patreon channel?
Oh, I think it's $3, something like that.
$3? That's cheap enough.
Yeah.
Well, now is it one of those where they could donate more if they wanted to?
I can't remember if I removed it. No, I don't think I did. I was going to remove. I can't remember. There's like a $3 and maybe $6 or $7. And I was going to remove it back down to $1, but then someone joined at the $7, so I've left it for now, and then we'll see, and I'll move it down again.
That was me that joined for $7.
That was you, yeah. I didn't want to just shout it out there, but if you want to move down a tier, Randy, you're very welcome to. Don't worry about it, because then I will just put it all on a single tier. So,
well, you know, I'm launching a Patreon soon. And the funny thing about my Patreon is that it's obviously under construction. I'm still putting together everything for the channel there on Patreon.com, but I've already picked up subscribers. Which I think is marvelous.
Cool.
But I'm going to have a second book club on my Patreon. You know, I already have the Lone Star Book Club, which is free to anybody who watches my channel. But the Lone Star Book Club, but the book club for my Patreon is going to be for members only. And you're going to love the name for this book club.
Will you tell us?
The Star Chamber.
The Star Chamber. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be good when you get it up and running. You know. It will.
Yeah. I'm getting pretty close now. So I have, I think, 4 tiers set up now, but I think I'm going to reduce it to 3 tiers.
Yeah.
But I'm actually kind of excited about it because I'm expecting everyone who watches me to sign up so that I will have an income.
There you go. That's what we all dream for, isn't it? I mean, I
this was my thing.
Wish I could put the price lower. Like if I could have $1 and still, if everybody who subscribed, of course, pay the subscription fee of $1. Yeah, I would. That would be my main job. Who wouldn't?
Well, let me tell you about my thought process. Okay.
Right.
So I've had to do a GoFundMe a time or two.
Yeah.
Because of my health, it's made it hard for me to work. And it occurred to me, people have been very generous with the GoFundMe and really saved my bacon a couple of times. But it occurred to me, rather than just do a GoFundMe, I should have a Patreon, because then people are getting something back instead of just giving me money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
That was my thought process anyway.
Yeah. But then, of course, it becomes, I don't know how to say it. It does add a bit of, not stress necessarily, but you do worry. Well, yeah, you do worry if you're giving your patrons value for money. You know, I have moments.
Yeah, you want to give them enough value, of course. But see, you know what I've got for my Patreons? This is going to be very, very exciting. Bookmarks.
Uh-huh.
With my picture on them.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're going to have sets?
And it's not just a picture of me. It's not just a photograph of me.
You're not going to have
It's actually an artist rendition of me.
You're not going to have sets of them, Randy? So it's like Randy and Friends. So you've got Randy, you've got Dave the Dwarf, you've got the Elvis impersonator. You know, you could collect all Randy and his friends in like a set.
I have had an unusual batch of friends throughout my life, haven't I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you remember the Elvis impersonator. He was terrific.
Yeah. Or you could do Randy's Angels. You know, all your ex-girlfriends and with their jobs under it. You know, Margaret, teacher, Susanna, window cleaner, whatever. We could have the whole set and people can collect them. And
the funny thing about Randy's Angels is none of them were girlfriends.
Right.
You know, they're just women friends that liked me and have helped me out.
Oh, okay. So they're not
most of my girlfriends actually really didn't care for the fact that I had a group of women who took care of me and that I called them Randy's Angels.
Funny that.
Isn't it amazing that someone like me could inspire jealousy from a woman?
You never know, do you? You never know. But remember,
anyway, my bookmarks, like I say, are just it's not a picture of me. It's not just a photograph of me. It's an artist rendition of me. And I'm sitting on top of a stack of books reading a book.
Okay.
And on the other side, okay, you've got the picture of me on the one side. On the other side, it says, "The Literate Texan, stay hydrated, stay sexy."
There you go. We've got one question for you there, Randy. When you turn the bookmark upside down, is your picture in a bikini? So like one of these where you're dressed and then you turn it upside down, you're undressed. So
wouldn't that be cool? I think that's a better idea for the coffee mugs that I'm going to have, though. I'm going to have
coffee mugs. And you get naked. Yeah,
and you put the hot water in there and various states of undress. Well, there has been talk about a Men of BookTube calendar.
Has there?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that lately.
Who on earth?
And of course, I'm willing to participate in that.
Who on earth are you going to have on that? Seriously.
Me, you, Sean Standfast, Steve Donahue.
Yeah. All the hunks, all the hotties.
The usual beefcake, fellas.
Yeah.
Christopher Russell, probably.
Yes. Interesting. So what, we're just going to be kind of like in our birthday suits with books just strategically placed to preserve our modesty, or how's that going to work?
Well,
we're
probably something similar to that.
Gradually losing viewers on this topic.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare anybody off.
You would think it would go up, wouldn't you? Be people like calling their friends, "Oh yeah, Randy's going to do a sexy calendar." Yeah. Mike says,
I hate that we're losing viewers.
I enjoyed the voting, but the choices were hard. You mean it was just difficult to choose between them, I'm hoping, rather than they were crap choices, hopefully. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose, there's an audience for everything, so perhaps there are some, I don't know if dementors is an acceptable word these days, but some strange people out there who might actually want that kind of calendar. Yeah. What month would you take, Randy? I'm seeing Christmas, actually. In December, I'm seeing December with a big red.
Absolutely, December.
Yeah.
The last girlfriend I had, I told her one night as we were driving, we were going to eat sushi that night. No, we were going to eat Italian food that night. But I told her as we were on our way there, I said, listen, here's what you need to understand about me. You should think of me as being just like Santa Claus, only so much sexier. And she thought about it for a minute, and she said, you're right.
Well,
I still don't know why she broke up with me.
I never thought of Santa Claus being particularly sexy, to be honest.
Well,
maybe.
I shaved my beard one year right before Christmas, and my Uncle Joe got mad at me because he wanted me to play Santa Claus, and I've got the full beard for it. And it's pretty white nowadays.
Someone says that would be so cool to have a calendar. You guys should have your favorite books strategically placed or displayed. Yeah, well, luckily my favorite books are things like War and Peace and Les Miserables, so that should preserve quite a bit of my modesty. If I just went with 3 Men in a Boat, I suppose that wouldn't leave me much room there. As Helen says, we're going to need a bigger book. Santa is sexy depending on what he brings me. Clearly, you didn't give her enough presents, Randy. So, a calendar in a genre theme for every month would be cool. Yeah, we could dress up,
Oh, dress like James Bond for Dr. November.
Dr. November, that's right. It could be kind of like...
You know what I should do for Dr. November this year?
But you won't have time.
I should read the complete James Bond by Ian Fleming. I have all the books.
All the original books, or have they been tampered with?
No, the originals. Yeah, well, that was one of the things that they had at my public library when I was growing up. They had all of Ian Fleming's James Bond books. So those were some of the first adult books that I read too. After the Lord of the Rings, and the first adult books I remember reading were the Lord of the Rings, The World According to Garp, and The Grapes of Wrath, and then the James Bond novels.
Yeah. Yeah,
I also read the Foundation books by Isaac Asimov. Those were a lot of fun.
You can easily do the James Bond books in a month, though, really.
Oh, yeah, they're short books.
Yeah.
And there were 14 or 15 of them, I think.
We have a question, a book swap question. What's your question, then? Or am I missing something again? Seem to be a bit out of it. Maybe it's too hot. Yeah, no, that would be kind of cool. I think I've got an idea for my own Dr. November. I'm thinking of doing the group read as Quiet American this year. It's short, sweet, and it's a good book. So,
The Quiet American is a fantastic book.
Yeah,
I love it.
So,
great movie too. Now I haven't seen the early black and white movie, but the more recent movie with Michael Caine and Brendan Fraser was really good flick.
Right. Steve Donahue thinks I'm an idiot because I like that movie.
Really?
I think it's a very good version of it. And they're both not the actors you would expect to see in it, but they both do a really good job.
I thought so, yeah. Well, I'll tell you this about Steve Donahue.
Yeah.
He has opinions.
He has opinions, which don't equate to taste necessarily, right? But the question is there any BookTube place where people list books they want to have? I have a couple thousand books to cull. Well, I think you just send them on to, you're based in America, aren't you? So just send them on to Driftwood Ranch. I'm sure Randy would be happy to wade through 2,000 books.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm assuming do you want to sell them or do you want to just give them away? Yeah, I'm sure there are a few people there who would love to take it.
2,000 books is a lot.
Sorry, I have to stay hydrated. It's quite important.
It's important.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2,000 books is a lot. I tell you, it just pops up anytime. This is Miss January over here. Steve's opinions are perfect. Luckily, so is his taste. So
well, there you go.
That's Steve himself, if you couldn't see.
So. Oh, that's Steve commenting there.
Yes.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
You know what's great about Steve Donahue? His top 10 lists. Every year, Steve does top 10 lists, and they're always fantastic. I've never read a book off of one of his top 10 lists that I didn't thoroughly enjoy.
No, I agree. He's very good at those. I like his starter kits as well.
Actually, they're interesting. The thing about those top 10 lists that Steve does, all these newspapers and magazines, they do top 10 lists, but there's no way these people have read enough books to make a legitimate top 10 list. But Steve really has read enough books to say, okay, yeah, these are the top 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, across a variety of genres, basically.
Right.
I mean, obviously, some people have read enough sci-fi or things, but yeah. I just want to say, because I think you're in Massachusetts, aren't you? If I'm not giving something away, I seem to think you said in one chat. So I'm pretty sure this gentleman here, Steve Donahue, he loves it when people send him books. So if you really want to get rid of your books, you could send him your 2,000 books over to High Cottage, Boston, Massachusetts. He will be absolutely thrilled. Isn't that rule number 1 on Steve's channel? I can't remember.
Don't send him books.
That's send him books. He'll love it. Depends on the book, but really just looking for a place we can list books that we have. Oh, I don't know. You might be better off on Facebook maybe for this. As we all have books there. That's right. Whether sell or give. Hello, everything Steve does is great. No, he and I already spoke of this. He's already picked a stack. Oh, there you go then. Super. But you need to ask Steve whether he's read them first. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, be careful. Be careful with that question. And of course, there are various ways of asking, has Steve read it as well, when you don't realize you're asking it. You're like, what do you think about such and such and such and such, of course, which means, has Steve read it? Yeah. It's a shame nobody's picked up the mantle on that and done a 3rd or 4th season, because we've got a few new people around now. It would be kind of cool. I don't think you ever tried it. Did you, Randy? You never took the Has Steve Read It challenge?
No.
Oh, I performed terribly. I got massive face palms. Yeah, it was a thing when I first joined BookTube. I think we'd already hit the 2nd season, where you pick, I think, like 10 books, and you're betting against the fact that Steve has read them. So, you've got to find 10 books you believe that you've actually read. You can't just go and pick
gotcha.
Some physics textbook that you've never read or anything like that. But yeah, this happened a few years ago. I haven't seen it since, but it was good fun. I did terribly though. But yeah, if you think you can find 10 books in your library or 10 books that you've read that Steve hasn't read, then there you go. Or you could just go back, watch all the old videos of Has Steve Read It, and bank on the fact that the ones he hadn't read, he still hasn't read. And so you might be able to beat him, but that might be a bit too nefarious.
I accidentally found a book in my library that Steve hadn't read. I don't remember the author's name, but the title was My Thoughts Be Bloody.
Uh-huh.
And it was about John Wilkes Booth.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, when I mentioned it to him, he hadn't read it.
Well, there you go. I mean, I knew one book he hadn't read, which I don't know if he's remedied it, but it surprised me a little. And it surprised me when I went on and saw it was a Amazon bestseller in, I don't know if it was military history or biography, which was called Happy Odyssey. It was the biography of one British general from the Second World War who has just the most amazing Wikipedia entry. His name, actually, I'll bring it up. I'll tell you, it's quite funny, really. So Adrian Carton. So I read this guy's autobiography, and he won like the Victoria Cross, which is, I guess, like your Medal of Honor or something, Randy. Yeah, and he never mentions it. He never mentions it in the book at all, in his own autobiography. Winston Churchill, who wrote the introduction to it, mentions it. But as it says here, it says Lieutenant General Sir Adrian Paul Gishlane Carton de Wyatt was a British Army officer of Belgian and Irish descent. He was awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest military decoration awarded for valor in face of the enemy in various Commonwealth countries. He served in the Boer War, First World War, and Second World War. He was shot in the face, head, stomach, groin, ankle, leg, hip, and ear. He was also blinded in his left eye, survived 2 plane crashes, tunneled out of a prisoner of war camp, and tore off his own severely injured fingers when a doctor declined to amputate them. Describing his experiences in the First World War, he wrote, "Frankly, I had enjoyed the war." So he's definitely a very interesting person with a very interesting autobiography. And I was really surprised at the time. Steve hadn't read it, but maybe he has. So who knows?
It sounds like something I would like to read.
I tell you, I recommend it. It is a military biography, but it's very exciting. Very exciting. Because he's just he doesn't he's married. I think maybe he's married twice even. Maybe one of his wife dies or he never mentions it. He's got 2 kids. He barely mentions them. It's all about the action. He's all about this. He's in and out of hospital so much. The hospital actually keep pajamas for him that they've got monogrammed because he's been coming back, from the front. He didn't even carry a gun. In the First World War, he just carried his stick. So he led his men into battle because he's the type of man who, like, when some people were showing a bit of cowardice, inverted commas cowardice, he said, "Oh, I wish I had my gun with me. I would have shot the bounder there and then for not following orders." This kind of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting book. The fact that he escapes from this prisoner of war camp in the Second World War. Well, actually, his plane crashes and he has to swim. Everybody's killed except him and I think the pilot. And the pilot's unconscious. And he's about a mile from the shore. And he has to swim. Remember, he's only got one arm and he's blind in one eye. He's got an eye patch. And he swims the mile with the passed out pilot, who's obviously. And then when he gets taken to this prisoner of war camp, he escapes. It's in Italy. He doesn't speak a word of Italian. He's wandering around the countryside for like 2 weeks with an eye patch, and he's missing his arms. So it's very easy to tell who he is. He's just wandering around. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we've got quite a few comments now, so I will go through them. Where are we? Here we go. You practically have to be a lawyer to speak, asks Steve. Oh, just very whitey girl. Jim's here. Hey, y'all. Hey. Yes, and for every book you pick that I haven't read, you get 1 bean. I forgot who got the most beans. Someone says, I tried to start season 3 back in 2022, made 1 video, but no 1 bit. Yeah, I remember that, I think. The problem with season 3 is that you all know me much better than years ago. Yeah, that's true. Daniel's season 1 was difficult to repeat. I think Hannah was one of the best at accumulating beans. Yeah, so. Oh yeah, it's. I think you'll enjoy it, Randy. Yeah, I will sort you out later. So, how you doing? You look like you're getting tired. Are you ready to call it a night, or how's it going?
Me?
Yeah.
Tired? No.
All right, we'll give it till the top of the hour. So we'll go for the last 10 minutes because I will have to go out with Elvis at some point as well before it gets dark. But yeah. So are you partaking in anything in September? Any kind of reading event or book
September?
Event?
Well, let me think. So there's Shorty September.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have a list I made of 30 books that I should be able to read in a day. But I'm not sure if I'll actually read any of them or not.
Yeah.
But September is also Shake-Timber. Is it not?
You could combine it. Shake-Timber with September.
Shakespeare.
You could read a Shakespeare play a day, couldn't you, easily?
Easily. Most Shakespeare plays aren't very long.
No.
Even the longest ones you can read fairly easily in 3 hours. People are really intimidated by Shakespeare, but You can read the complete works of Shakespeare in less than a year easily.
Oh, easily. Complete works of Shakespeare, you could.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's only 38 or 39 plays. There's 154 sonnets. I think there are 2 long poems and 2 short poems, and that's it.
You do it in an afternoon if you're Steve. So, I mean, I've combined my Shorty September with Read What You Own because I thought it was a good way to get rid of 30 books that I haven't read. Although technically 9 of them are borrowed / stolen or temporarily stolen from the school library, which I will return when I've read them. But it does leave me with 21 books at least that have been on my shelves that I haven't read yet. Although actually, no, to be fair, I think 1, possibly 2 might be a reread, but not those editions. And it's been more than 20 years since I read them. Steve says it's Cimmerian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And Mike's thinking of doing a Shorty Shakes, Tember, and Framed. And Jim says Shake Tember, Shorty September, Framed in September, and Michael K. Vaughan has something on about Conan. Yeah. What is Framed?
Cimmerian September.
Yeah.
I'll probably read Solomon Kane in September.
But it's probably quite short, isn't it? So it could fit into Shorty September. You can combine all these.
I think there are maybe 6 Solomon Kane stories, and at least one of them's fairly long. So I think, it's a collection of short stories, but it's still a whole book.
Yeah, but I can't imagine it's like, 300 pages or something, is it?
I don't remember. I've got a copy of it around here somewhere. I'll have to get it out. But of course, Solomon Kane is, one of the greatest characters in literature of all time.
I
love Conan the Barbarian. Don't get me wrong. I do love Conan the Barbarian, but Solomon Kane, I mean, hardly any character in literature holds a candle to Solomon Kane. And you know why?
No, why?
The hat. Yeah, he's got a great hat.
The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane, yes, 415 pages. So
there you go.
Bit tough for a day, unless you're Steve Donahue.
Have you read any of them?
No, I haven't. I've been thinking about Solomon Kane as well from I think last year, but I didn't. So Framed is an art-themed event. Read about art, go look at some art, and then if you dare make some art. Well, I could certainly do that. I get to teach art at school. Isn't that wonderful? I have to say it's one of my favorite things. I get to teach 6th grade art, 8th grade art, and 9th grade art. And I really enjoy it. I have to say, I really, really enjoy it. It's so much fun. Get to do it in English in conjunction with the Czech teacher. So we work together, and, it's a nice, relaxing time to actually get to just chat to the kids while they're doing their artwork and stuff, and, learning about all the different styles and things. I like all of that. Solomon Kane's hat is covering a pancake-sized bald spot. Are there any good art museums around here? In Boston? Don Delilio's The Body Artist, performance art, interesting. In the author Jill.
I have something to say about art when you catch up on the comments.
Sure, I'm almost done. There's 2 left. Steve, Mark, have your students ever met Elvis? Yes, yeah, they have. They've come to the house. They met him. I'm only 1 minute from the school. I sometimes take him down to the school. The kids meet him. Sometimes the kids ask me to walk him, so they run him in the fields and the forest and bring him back. So they know him pretty well. He's a definite favorite with the kids. And last comment, I've just acquired that Delilio. So there you go. Go for it.
So one of my favorite places in Denton, Texas is the Yellow Dog, which is an art bar owned by a blind artist, John Bramblett. And he is the premier blind artist in the country, and he paints. And he is legitimately blind. He can tell the different colors of the paints by the texture.
By touch.
The different colors have different textures.
Right.
But at any rate, when you go to the bar, they have cocktails and mocktails. which is great for a recovering alcoholic like myself. But you can also buy a little art kit while you're there, and you get a canvas board and paints and paintbrushes, acrylic paints, and you can make a painting while you're there. And so one of these days, maybe next week on this show, I'll show off the painting that I painted last time I was there.
That's cool.
But yeah, if you get a chance, take a look. Google John Bramblett. You'll be amazed at the artwork that he's created, considering he can't see.
And do you actually paint like for relaxation, Randy? Do you?
Not much, not anymore. I did win. This is funny. I got into a dispute at Wikipedia one time with a gentleman who was making edits to an article, and he got very angry because his edits were terrible, and he explained that he was an award-winning essayist.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's one of the worst things you can say about yourself is that you're an award-winning anything, because depending on the award, it's absolutely meaningless. I won 4th place in the Red River Valley Art Contest in 1989 for a painting I did of a cherry pie. So I am an award-winning artist.
But
it's nobody wants to look at my paintings.
It's funny. I remember the Red River Valley.
Yeah.
No, isn't that the song?
Yes. There is a song about the Red River Valley.
Yeah, I thought that's how it went.
But I grew up just 10 miles south of the Red River.
Yeah,
the Red River is the border between Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah. It's the film, isn't it? With what's his face? John Wayne, Red River.
Yes. John Wayne was in a lot of movies, and some of them are really, really good. Like Rio Bravo's terrific.
Yeah.
The Searchers, too. Another great Western movie.
Searchers, yeah, it's very good. Very good. I was just looking I had a video I was going to show to answer Steve's question about the kids meeting Elvis. I had one just before the end of school, but I guess I can't find it now. So, such is it. So yeah. What we got in the comments?
Galactic Patrol. Let's talk about Galactic Patrol.
Galactic Patrol.
Galactic Patrol.
DeLillo is a writer. His novels remind me of films by Antonioni, like The Passenger, La Aventura, La Notte. Helen's Gotta Go. See you later. Thanks for coming. All of John Wayne's movies are really, really good, says Steve. Searchers is excellent. It is good to see it with Hostiles. And we agree there with Steve. Well, it's hard not to agree, I would say.
One of my favorite memories is they showed The Searchers, I believe it was a 50th anniversary showing or a 60th anniversary showing or something like that. They showed it on the big screen, and I took my daughters to see it. It's one of my favorite memories. Anytime there's a repertory showing of a classic film at a movie theater, I try to take my daughters to see it. I think their favorite of all of those was 2001: A Space Odyssey, which we actually got to see on film. They showed it in 35 millimeter, and my daughter's got a big kick out of that.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, never.
See it on the biggest screen that you can.
That's good, is it?
It's not my favorite Stanley Kubrick film, but it's all right.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. It's one I keep hearing people, have mixed feelings about, but
I have mixed feelings about it. I wonder what Steve thinks of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, is that asking, has Steve watched it? Question.
Oh, I'm sure he's seen it.
And have you read it?
I have, yes.
Yeah. And was it very different or?
No, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not mistaken, Arthur C. Clarke was writing the novel in conjunction with Stanley Kubrick making the film.
Oh, okay.
So they're really meant to be experienced together. The movie, frankly, doesn't make much sense unless you've read the novel.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I can imagine that then. No, I didn't. I just never had any interest. I always remember seeing the, I guess the beginning part with the monkeys.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, what is this? So. But you know me with science fiction, I'm a bit of a strange one. So, yeah. Oh, there's one. That'll do. And download that one. Yeah, no, I've never been a massive fan, as you know, but where are we? Onto the show. Ah, so slow. Yeah. Because I can share. Where is it? Share the screen. Share screen, share screen. Share screen. Maybe I can't then. I can only share from. I thought you could share your actual screen, but it only says I can share from you know, from the browser, which is annoying. Oh. So I thought I'd actually be able to share like from somewhere else. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Where are we? Share.
Oh,
so you can
what
see. Just sharing the video. Because Steve asked if the kids have ever met Elvis.
Oh, cool.
Oh. So these are like the, what do you call it, kids? They have like afternoon school club and stuff.
So, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, yeah, all that for... where are we? Got a few comments here. A few views about 2001, I suppose. From this place, I've heard you are leaving. Those are the lyrics, something approximately. No, they are. No, they aren't. I read True Grit for June on the Range. I should see the movie now, or one of the movies. One was with John Wayne, yes. 2001 stinks. Both the book and the movie are eye-wateringly boring. 2001 is excellent, enchanting film. Has anyone ever made a film of Stranger in a Strange Land? I don't know. Mike, I'm with you on science fiction, Mark. Good to know. It's always good to have allies. It is almost impossible to make into a movie for several reasons. Stranger is near unfilmable as a movie. How did you do that? I was planning on sharing my screen for when I live stream the 100 book selection. That's easy. In StreamYard at the bottom, there's literally a tab that says share your screen. So quite easy. So I'm afraid, if you're in agreement, Randy, I'm going to have to stop, buddy, because it's getting darker and I've got to take my Elvis outside. So,
well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today.
Me too, definitely. And I invite you all to check out Randy's channel if you haven't already. So I think pretty much everybody
That's
has.
right. I desperately need more subscribers. I beg of you to please subscribe to my channel. Please, please. I can be found searching for Literate Texan or Randy Ray Books, either one.
At least I know everybody who's commenting is subscribed because I have it on subscription only. So, you know, I don't know about everybody viewing, but everybody commenting. So, Steve, one plot through line of Stranger in a Strange Land is pretty easily filmed. It's all the rest that makes it tough. Awesome. Thanks. Mike says, thanks, guys. Fun as always. Yes, thank you to everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day, wherever you happen to be. And we'll be back next week with well, it's not a surprise, is it? Who are we back with next
week? Special guest, Christopher Russell.
Christopher Russell. Joining us next week. Christopher Russell, yes. live from some strange land, probably.
He will be from some strange land, yes.
Excellent. All right, everybody, have a good one. See you next time.
All
All
right.
the best.
See you next week. Bye now.